It's interesting how beliefs become more than thoughts, how they become breath, skin, action. Because what if every cell already knows what you're about to remember? The resilience was never something to be found, but revealed. And in the rhythm of that remembering, you might begin to notice how recovering is not fixing, but reclaiming. And healing is not forgetting, but forgiving the illusion of what never really touched you. A tree sheds its leaves, not because it's weak, but because it knows there's power in releasing what no longer serves. False allegations are like storms passing over mountains, loud, violent, temporary. But the mountain doesn't explain, it remains. Just like you remain. And each breath you take installs that awareness deeper. The truth is magnetic, your core is untouchable, and no lie can define a limitless soul. Because you already know, don't you? Beliefs shape reality. And even the softest whisper repeated enough becomes law inside the mind. You can forget how you once doubted. Because what if doubt was just the shadow of growing power? And power doesn't need to shout, it smiles, it waits, it acts. And so, perhaps you find yourself curious how every challenge is not a cage, but a classroom. And the trial is not punishment, it's pattern recognition. Because your mind right now, it's learning how to notice what was once hidden and respond with elegance. You see, there are people who crumble under pressure, and others who pressurize into diamonds. You're the latter. You're the forge, not the flame. You're the silence that shapes thunder. Let me teach you using examples. There was a man accused who spoke not with fear, but with clarity, because his identity was never based on others' confusion. He walked slowly, but he walked forward. Each step a testimony, each breath a verdict of resilience. There was a woman, once betrayed by lies, who didn't fight the mud. She built steps from it. And every insult became a brick. And every doubt became a drumbeat in her chest, saying, "You're still here. You're still standing. You're still you." Truth doesn't defend itself, it reveals itself. And maybe you already know, confusion is a doorway, not a dead end. Because in confusion, the conscious loosens, the unconscious listens. And as you listen now to these words that aren't just words, but keys to a new operating system, you find beliefs that are like seeds, and repetition is the rain. You've already been watering them, haven't you? Every time you said, "I'm resilient, I will not break. My worth is not for negotiation." You rewrote the code inside. So let's layer it deeper. You're not broken, you're rebuilding. You're not accused, you're awakening. You're not healing, you're returning to power. And power is subtle, isn't it? It hides in integrity, it sings in silence, it moves mountains by merely standing still. A person builds internal anchors, not by force, but by linking feelings to symbols. Perhaps the touch of your thumb and your forefinger now means unshakably calm. Or maybe every deep breath from now on automatically triggers clarity, certainty and control. Isn't that fascinating? How one cue can flip a switch. Because when the body shifts, the story shifts. And you already know, don't you, that perception is the puppet master of experience. So now consider this. There are no problems, only unpracticed strengths. There are no false accusations, only false authority attempting to define you. But you define you, with your gaze, with your grace, with the way you reclaim your story moment by moment. Because resilience is not what you do, it's what you are. And your identity, it's already absorbed that now. You can forget where you learned it, because learning isn't always conscious. Sometimes the lessons live in your breath, in your bones, in your decisions, before you even name them. Pain can be repurposed and allegations become affirmations of your strength. Because every attack taught you timing, every setback taught you stillness, every lie taught you to listen more deeply to your inner knowing. You've already downloaded the new system. Now the old scripts delete themselves quietly, efficiently, naturally. Because integrity is louder than chaos, and healing is the side effect of remembering the truth. That was never lost, only waiting. Maybe now you realize, without realizing, everything is already installed.